Bols fans, AdamHarry back again with another Bols unboxing, and today we are taking a look at the new game from Mantic, Deadzone. So this is actually a sample copy. It should be the same stuff as the retail copies you'll get in the stores, but we got a little copy early because it's a sample. So there you go. This is, of course, from Mantic. It contains 2 strike forces, one for the Enforcers and one for the Forge Fathers. This is a box game designed, for 2 players, anywhere from 30 minutes to 60 minutes, as you can see there. And it's got a ton of cool stuff in there. All the dice you'll need, templates, I believe a measuring thing, and some other stuff. Well, let's take a look at that. It's a grid-based thing, so I don't think you actually need a measuring thing. Anyway, measuring device. It's got the rule book. You get 5, again, a Enforcer strike team consisting of 5 models and 5 Pathfinder models, and then the Forge Father strike team also consisting of 10 models. So pretty cool stuff. I believe there's some new minis in here as well, so I'm pretty excited about that. But this is the new one from Mantic Games. You can go check it out on the website at manticgames.com. So let's go ahead and open this one on up. And it didn't have shrink wrap, so sorry. But we get the little splash thing. Again, this is a demo slash review copy. It's not, probably won't have this in the retail version, but you can check it out. So Deadzone 2.0, better than the original. But you get a ton of cool stuff in here. So it starts off, these are some of the terrain things we've had. I'm going to move this to the side so we can kind of see a little better. So these are terrain sprues. That's just some doodads and accessories. This is for part of the buildings you can see here. This is a very hard plastic, by the way. This is not soft plastic at all. And the advantage of that hard plastic is just durability. And also when you're building it, it's just going to be very, very rigid, which is nice considering these are all part of the building sprues. You're actually going to put models on top of these or under these, so you don't want these to be flimsy and break on you. So it's a nice touch there. You get a couple of different styles of terrain sprues. These are from the destruction or destroyed buildings, ruins, something like that. If you bought any of the terrain kits from Mantic, those are fantastic terrain kits, by the way. We have a couple here in the Bols studio that we use quite frequently for our games as well. So they make some excellent terrain. They go together pretty easily. They have their these little pegs, squares, are for pegs. So they have some extra support and durability when you're building them. Just wanted to call that out. So you get a couple of different sprues there. Looks like 3 of these sprues that are kind of rubble and ruins, and then again, some more sprues for the actual buildings. I'm going to move these all to the side, and we'll take a look. We've got, these are our bases, obviously. We've got a couple of different sets of sprues. Again, I don't know if this is going to be the exact thing that's in the retail copy, but this is the sample copy that we have, so they came packaged like so. And moving on from those, we've got a couple of extra sprues here. I believe most of these are Enforcers, and then obviously the Forge Fathers, which are the stunty-like short guys, which are pretty great. There's another base, just moving around the table here. These are some of those pegs I was talking about for the terrain building. The little square pegs, they pop in there, keeps everything nice and locked down for you. We have custom dice for this game, and then it actually uses D8s, which is kind of cool. So slightly different dice mechanic and odds when you roll those versus D6s, obviously. Just 2 more numbers, go figure. Oh, it's a hardback rulebook. I like that. That's classy right there, folks. Move that to the side. Got a couple of templates that may have been popped out, or tokens, excuse me. So here we go. There's a bunch of tokens, and I have no idea what these are all for, but there's really cool artwork on them, and they definitely mean something. That one popped out of there, so it's probably like ammo or health or something like that. So move that to the side. And then this is the board I was talking about. Again, I believe from the previous Deadzone version, this is probably a mat of some type. Yeah, folds out. This is the play area for this particular size game. These squares each are, it's a grid pattern, obviously, so that's where you can place models. And there's specific rules based on the the size of the base, how many of them can fit into one square, as well as if you go vertical, because you have the cool terrain buildings. Obviously those fit right there. You can build them up. You can see kind of they fit right on the square. You can put a piece of terrain there and connect multiple squares if you go vertical with it. But based on the movement, stuff like that, based on the previous edition of the game at least, that's how that works. So it's a pretty neat little poster board type material. So it's good for a playmat for multiple games. It'll last you a long time and make your table look nice. So that's pretty much it. It's inside the box. I'm going to pause real quick. We'll take a look at the miniatures. Most of these miniatures we've seen before in one shape or another, so we're going to spend too much time on those, but I do want to show those off because they are in the box. Okay, like I said, we're not going to spend too much time on the models just because we've seen most of these before. However, the Pathfinders I haven't seen before. I don't know if they've been out for a while. I believe they might be new, but that's the Pathfinder sprue. We'll get to that in a second. These are the Enforcers. I built a couple of these models. They go together really easily. They are modular based on the torsos, leg positions. You can kind of customize them however you want. Here's this piece so you can see. So you can equip them with the guns and blades. Pretty cool stuff. They also have like a heavy flamethrower and a big old heavy machine gun. I forgot the name of the gun off the top of my head. It's been a while. But you can build them a couple of different ways. There's 5 of those torsos, so you can build 5 of those models, but you'll have a lot of extra bits. So hang on to those. Then, of course, we have the new... Oh, looks like his legs popped off. These, these are the new Pathfinder models. As you can see here, really great looking kit, tons of detail. They are kind of the paramilitary scouts for the corporation guys, for the Enforcers. So they come with sniper rifles, and it looks like a bigger sniper rifle. And then, oh, they also have the option, looks like, of a heavy weapon of some type, and looks like maybe a walker or a drone kit or something like that. Maybe it's mounted. Pretty cool stuff down here. And yeah, it's like I said, lots of pouches, lots of belts and buckles and stuff like that on these guys. So they have lots of little details that you can really go nuts with, especially with the guns, man. There's tons of stuff. If you wanted to do all the lining and stuff on that, it would take forever because they have so much detail. So not a bad thing at all. And some extra legs that popped off. Looks like you get 5 sets of legs and 6 sets of legs and 5 torsos. So you can build up to 5 models for the Pathfinder unit. Then this is the first sprue. There's 2 here. I figured these sprues are actually pretty similar, so I'm not going to bust them both out. But these are for the Forge Father guys. We've seen these guys before. Very cool. They have a kind of a dwarven vibe going on, space dwarves, and really cool armor plates on them. Very heavily armored. They have kind of like combat shotgun looking things. Pretty cool with like big drum magazines. They have a hammer motif going on as well. They are Forge Fathers after all. Big powered armored dwarves. Really cool stuff. So that's pretty much it for the models. Let's take a quick dive into the rulebook as well. Okay, I'm going to kind of blaze through this rulebook real quick. This is not going to be a how to play part of the video. I just want to show off the rulebooks and then some of the cool stuff you're actually getting in this. Again, really nice book. It is a hardback. Got a little banged up in shipping, but that's because it was coming across. So coming across an ocean, I'm not surprised. But again, hardback, so none of the pages are scratched up or anything like that. It's a good sign. It is a very nice production, very well done. There's Warpath. This is the bigger brother to Deadzone if you want to go to full-scale games. It's 112 pages, full color, front and back. Very well done. We'll get into all that. You see there's a ton of different army lists and stuff like that. We'll jump into all that. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So let's go through. Great little intro from Jake Thornton, one of the designers. And just very quick table of contents. This book is pretty well laid out. So you got the core rules, and these are actually great for the getting started part with the stuff that's actually in Deadzone. So you got the core rules here, dice test, playing the game, how that works. Your first games, again, going to walk you through the basics of the Deadzone boxed game, how the actions and what those are, any additional rules, different abilities. You're talking about maybe a 20, 25 page rules section that actually covers how to play the game. So it's not super complicated or anything like that. But then moving on from there, we have all of the army lists. And again, this is what's great about this system is it covers all of the army lists for every army, and you only need the one book to get started. So the Plague, the Enforcers, the Veermen, Forge Fathers, Asterians, Marauders, Rebs, and Mercs, and all those stuff. If you want to run a campaign, which who doesn't, it's always fun to keep track of stuff. There's campaign terms, starting a campaign, how that whole thing works out, and of course roster sheets and a quick reference. This is a smaller scale skirmish level game, so it's designed for pretty quick play. Again, playing in a league or a campaign is kind of the point of this game, so you want to keep track of how your stuff's doing. So it kind of goes over what is Deadzone, the world of Deadzone, all that stuff. setting up the game, setting up a battlefield. This is what I was talking about. Again, if you want to go very vertical with your table, your board, you can do that. The game supports taller structures, so you can get into that. This is a points-based game, so models cost X amount of points, and when they die, the opposing player earns victory points based on the mission, stuff like that, if the mission requires that. So let's go through there. Deployment's super simple. Again, it's based off of the missions, obviously, and then real quick, setup, stuff like that. So it's not super complicated. How the dice work, they'll go through all of that with you. Again, I'm not going to give you a bunch of rules. We're not going to do a how to play this game yet. I just wanted to show that off. The Enforcer Strike team, all the pre-generated stuff here is listed out. That drone thing I was talking about, that's the dog drone. Pretty cool stuff. But how they all lay out, the Forge Fathers, how they all work, how actions, again, very basic stuff. You got moving, which is short move is basically like 1 square. Sprint, which is like 2 squares. Stand up, short, shoot short, fight long. Fighting is the close combat, stuff like that. Very, very nice diagrams of how to move, the correct way, the incorrect way, stuff like that. What you can shoot at, what you can see. It's very, very clean rule set. If you haven't played the original, I don't know enough, to be honest with you, to compare this version to the original, seeing as I've just opened the rules and started reading this version. I have played the original version. It was pretty quick. It's not complicated. It took me like 5-10 minutes to learn, so it's not that bad. Especially once you get a couple of games under your belt, you'll be a pro in no time. It goes through all the different abilities. Again, special keywords will be part of the weapons or the character's stats, stuff like that. Med packs, how that stuff works. We've got some missions in there for you too. I want to skip ahead. Nice artwork, by the way. We're going to skip ahead just to some of the lists for the army list for guys. So this is the Plague. They're the weird alien aberration guys. So we've got the leaders, a giant mutant demon thing. It's pretty sweet. We've got all of these different troop types here. We've got the zombies, which you've seen before. Pretty cool stuff. Another aberration, so big beefy guys, and then all these weird, creepy drone things. The Plague Strider, pretty cool stuff. But you can see here, it's got the summaries here, their items. It's got stats for the unit, points for the units, VPs, and all that good stuff. And cool artwork for the model and stuff like that, so you can know exactly what you're getting into. Again, this is the Enforcers, and it goes through that for every single one of the factions. There's the Vermin, Veermen, the Rat Dudes, Space Rats. Pretty cool. It's a pretty neat little, a lot of different weapons. It's a pretty neat little system. It's a fun little universe to go explore around into. If you haven't had a chance to do that, you should totally check out the Deadzone universe, part of the whole Warpath thing. But there's all the different Forge Father stuff, and I believe, the Asterians, which are the very skinny, nimble alien type guys. A couple of them don't have models yet, so keep an eye out for that. Then the Marauders, Space Green Marauders, whatever you want to call them. There, lots of cool stuff. And then the Rebs. These are just kind of if you played Dreadball or anything like that, you might recognize some of these aliens from that system too. Same system, same worlds, kind of blend all together. So cool stuff there. But yeah, it's a fun little system. Again, goes to the rosters. Again, you're supposed to keep track of stuff, different abilities, how to level up in the campaign. So it's a great little rule set. Again, 112 pages, full color hardback, included in the box, which is this thing right here. Let me zoom out. Boom. There you go. Deadzone. Check it out. Check out their, I think they already did the Kickstarter by the time you watch this video. Go check it out on manticthegame.com. Mantic's website, just Google it, you'll find it. It's not hard to find at all. But it's from Mantic, Deadzone. Fun times. This is the 2.0 version. It's been updated and refined. I like games that hit their 2nd edition mark. You can tell they can stick around through one whole edition and then get worked on for their 2nd edition. They're going in the right direction. So check it out for your fun, fast-paced skirmish game. I'm AdamHarry from Bols, signing off. Have a good one.